Remind me, I need more cumin.
Don't just pay that ticket. Go to attackthatticket.com or call today, 877-99-NO-TICKS.
Hey there, YouTube fans. Mike Palumbo with another edition in the kitchen. And for you guys that don't know, I live in the Northeast. I live in New York, and it is freezing cold out there. I mean, it's so cold outside that I don't even want to look outside. Okay, my eyeballs start to freeze just by looking out the window. So I need to make something nice and warm and cozy. And I'm going to make today my famous navy bean soup. And this recipe will be in the description down below. I halved it because I don't need to make the entire amount. This will last me a few days. But this is my my famed navy bean soup. And what you start out with, in this case, I'm using 8 ounces of navy beans. You got to soak them either overnight or for a few hours. I soak these for a few hours, and they're fine to use now. Start out with onions, garlic, carrots, and celery. Ham. You need ham. I'm using a ham hock. It calls for a ham bone to use. Ham scraps, ham pieces. I'm just using a ham hock. I'm going to throw it in for flavor. You need olive oil. We need cumin. Red hot pepper flakes, salt and pepper, and about 40 ounces of water, which we'll use in a couple minutes. These are the ingredients. And to get started, what we do is we take our olive oil, put it in your stock pot. About a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm using pre-flavored. I'm using basically black peppercorn and chili infused olive oil to give it that little extra flair and flavor. And you heat it up, and then we're going to saute the vegetables. So we'll be back in a second when that starts to saute. Stir the vegetables as they're sauteing because I don't want them to burn. I also do the ham hock in. You're supposed to throw a ham hock in, or whatever ham you have, your ham bone, your ham scraps at this time too. Actually, the recipe says throw the ham bone in right away and then you put the scraps in later. I just do the whole, really, it is a scrap, you know? So, and while this is going on, there's something I want to talk about as it pertains to, the business of traffic ticket defense. And people call me all the time, and they call me, they're breathless, because they're like, oh, I got this speeding ticket, but the cop made a mistake. My car is blue, and he wrote down black. So I want you to go to court and get it dismissed. And in some states, that actually works. That could work, let's say in Massachusetts, because of the procedure in that state. But in most states and in New York, a minor error on a ticket does not lead to this dismissal. What we would call that a ministerial error, a small administrative error. And that is not enough to get a ticket dismissed in New York. A traffic ticket is what we call, is broadly defined as an accusatory instrument. And the law that controls whether or not a case gets dismissed because the accusatory instrument is incorrect is whether or not the defendant has been fairly apprised of the charges against them. And so, you're looking at things like date, time, location, if it's a speeding ticket, how fast over limit, what the speed limit was. Those things can lead to a dismissal if those things aren't properly filled out. But say the plate number was one plate number off, the date of birth was a little off, the car was, metallic gray, the cop said it was green or something like that. Those errors aren't big enough to get the ticket dismissed. So again, we use it as leverage to negotiate errors. We use errors as leverage to negotiate a great deal, but it's not going to lead to a dismissal in and of itself. So back to the soup. It's you saute it until the vegetables are soft, and they're getting soft. They look starting to get soft. Let them go for a couple more minutes. And after they wilt down a little more, you put the water in. Okay, so now it's the vegetables are they're not brown yet, but they're nice and soft, and The recipe actually calls for 3 to 5 minutes to saute them, which has been about 3 to 5 minutes. And now the next step is we put the beans in and the spices. You don't put the salt in until the end, until you taste it, because the ham has some salt in it. Your red hot pepper flakes, I think it calls for about 1.5 tablespoons. I'm just going to eyeball it here. I like a little spicy anyhow, so if I put a little too much in, that's fine for me. And the cumin, I think it's 1 tablespoon of cumin, like something like that. Yeah, I only got a little bit left, so that's it. We'll dump it in. Remind me, I need more cumin. Okay, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Just give it a quick stir around. And really, very minimal delay. As soon as you put the beans in and your spices in, you put your water in. It's going to be 40 ounces of water, 5 cups of water. Again, the full recipe calls for 10 cups of water. Throw my chicken bouillon cubes. I've done it with. I'll put my chicken bouillon cubes in. I've done it with just water, and I've done it with chicken broth and chicken bouillon. I like it with chicken broth and chicken bouillon, but with just water, it came out delicious as well. So you can go. You don't necessarily need chicken broth or bouillon cubes. You could do it with just water. And now I got to cover it and bring it to a boil. And of course, I can't find the cover. And that's for now. That's pretty much it. You bring it to a boil, and then you put it on a simmer for about 1.5 hours, and then it's ready. Okay, we're back. It's been about 1.5 hours. I turned the heat off, and the soup is ready. And you know the soup was ready when the bean is soft. That's how you know. And it's been about 1.5 hours, and that's about how long it takes. So now we're gonna plate it up and see what it tastes like. So here we go. We're gonna give you a little close up here. So here is the plated version. Oops. Here we go, like this. There we go. There we go, like a drone. See, I got a drone indoors. So that's the soup, and we're gonna put a little Pecorino Romano cheese. Sprinkle it in, and give it a little swirl, a little taste. It's really good. You can taste the ham, the saltiness of the ham, the spiciness of the red hot pepper flakes, but it's not too hot. Cheese just ties it all together, and it's just a great dish for a cold night like tonight. I'm gonna have this and a salad for a light dinner, and I'll have this for a couple days. So that's it. Glad that you're watching my culinary council series. Now, a friend of mine was telling me the other day how much he loves scallops, and he's like, I don't even know how to cook them. The scallops are the easiest thing in the world to cook. I ordered some scallops. They're coming, so I'm gonna have my next dish is gonna be basically just pan-seared scallops, and they're the simplest things to make. They come out great. They only take a few minutes, and so that's gonna be the next video. But for now, this is what we got going on, and I want everyone to have a great night. And again, share, like, and subscribe the video. Have a great night.